Hi and welcome to this week's 5-minute masterclass. This is Kate from the Safeguarding Academy. This week we're looking at child in need plans, and we're looking in particular around what the child in need process is and where it comes from. So a child in need status comes from the section in the Children Act, section 17, unsurprisingly, that tells a local authority what its duties are when there is a child in its area who is classed as a child in need. Now that classification can come about following a referral, so it might be the first time the local authority's been made aware of a particular family in its area. The local authority may have carried out or should have carried out a section 47 investigation, and following that it might be that there aren't sufficient concerns to take it to the next stage in terms of severity, but the local authority has assessed the situation and believes that that child who was the subject of the section 47 investigation is a child in need. Now that child in need can be assisted by way of money. It may be that furniture is needed, it may be that there's some intensive support needs to go in initially just to help out with clearing a property. It doesn't have to be anything particularly onerous, but it's enough to say that that child is in need, and its need is that its welfare needs have to be looked after, and so they're looking at intervention to assist. Now if a child has a child in need status, so the local authority has done that assessment, then in order to do all of the things I've just talked about, there has to be a meeting, and that meeting will take place usually at children's services officers. It's a fairly formal meeting and will be chaired by either the senior social worker, maybe the team manager, or possibly the independent reviewing officer, depending on who is available at the time and the particular policies and procedures within a local authority. Also at that meeting will be the parents, will be health if they're involved, school possibly, and maybe the children depending on their ages. If you've got an older child, then it's highly likely that you will have that child invited to a meeting, and if so, then the child in need meeting may take place at the child's school rather than at the social services officers. So the whole point of the meeting is that everybody gets together and they look at what support can be offered to that family. Now that support can be anything from visits, it can be through to providing a skip in order to help clear a property. You may be looking at other agencies going in to help out, or as I said at the beginning of this video, it could just be that you're looking at providing some financial aid to a family to assist them. I'm aware of families where they were subject to child in need because the local authority was assisting in terms of paying their rent. It wasn't that there was other issues involved, but there had to be regular meetings because the only reason that child was a child in need was because of mother's status in the country and because they needed to have some support in place, and that was what was happening. So there are a number of various outcomes, and like I say, it's not as onerous as higher intervention, but it is a formal process, so there will be minutes taken, there will be regular meetings held, and it is wholly expected that all professionals engage in that process and assist the local authority in discharging its duties under section 17 of the Children Act. And it embodies having everybody working together in order to safeguard the children to meet their welfare needs. If you want further reading, have a look at section 17 of the Children Act, and that will set it out for you, hopefully clearly, and so you can see what section 17 actually says. And like I say, if you're invited to a section 17 if you're invited to a child in need meeting rather, then go along, but be prepared that you will be asked to contribute something. You will be asked to assist in terms of meeting that child's welfare needs. Until next week, thank you.